Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. Today we're gonna talk about housing and I'm gonna try to give you the 5 best tips and methods to find a house in 2022 here in Groningen. So let's start. When you're trying to move here, the first thing you have to think about is to find a place to stay, whether it's a studio, an apartment, or even just a room. First of all, the first and most important piece of information I have to give you is what is the range of a price for 1 month of rent, and it usually goes between 350 and 650 euros per month, but of course it depends by mainly 3 factors, I would say. First one is whether you want to live alone by yourself or with other people. Of course, if you share the place with some other people, usually prices decrease. A second factor that is really important to consider is the location. This really depends whether you study in campus Groningen or in the city center. If you study in Groningen, my suggestion will be to find a place which is between the city center and campus Groningen. This will allow you to spend less time cycling every day when you have to go to uni. But if you study in the city center, this is a bit of an advantage because you have more options, and plus you can search for a place which is in the south of Groningen, where prices usually slightly decrease on average. So my third factor that you have to consider, of course, is your budget. And as you're willing to pay a high rent per month, the competition decreases, and so your chances of getting a place increase. So I would say that most of the people have a budget of around 450, 500 euros, and once you go above 600 euros, that's where you have a big decrease in competition. So the first method to find a house is quite an obvious one, and it's to find a real estate agency. Nowadays in Groningen, the market is really competitive. Usually in times without Corona, you would go to the agency in their office and talk to them, see what option they would have. But in Corona times, nowadays is of course it's different. And the best way to contact agency is to go on their website, check if there's anything that can interest you, and if there is, you should mail them immediately. You can call them to have more information about the property and all this kind of stuff. Another interesting thing about agency is that they publish their offers on websites like Pararius and Funda. In these kind of websites, you can kind of get an idea of how is the market, what is the price, and maybe you can understand better what you're looking for. So we really suggest you to check out these 2 websites. Due to this really high competition, you have to be really quick to respond once you find something you like. In fact, there's a high chance that once you look at something, there are already a lot of people that contacted them, and if you want to move in September of next year, I think it's really important to start searching for a place around March, April, May maximum, because then once you're in the summer, the market is way too saturated. There's way too many people searching for a house. I would rather pay an extra month of rent and be sure that I have a place, instead of coming here in the middle of the summer stressing about finding a place but you maybe not even find at the end. Some of the most famous agencies here, or for example Max, Groningen was goed, and Tweetman was goed, which is the agency which helped me to find the place where I'm actually staying right now. So the second method are Facebook groups. Facebook groups are really good because there's usually at least one new announcement every day. The problem with Facebook group is the same as with agency. There's so many people searching for house, so once someone does a post, there's already hundreds of people responding to it, sending DMs to the landlord. So it's once you find a place, of course, be really fast, act really fast, but I cannot stress this enough. The disadvantage with Facebook groups is that it's probably the place where there are more scammers, so you have to be really careful about it, and sometimes the place doesn't even exist, so check all this stuff. The good thing about Facebook groups is that when the landlord does a post, he might actually be one of your future roommates. so you can maybe search him on his Facebook profile, see if you actually like to move in with him. If you're lucky enough to get a viewing, then it's important to act as you would do in a normal day. You can understand a bit how it is living with you and whether you can get along with each other. So the third method I have for you are websites where you can pay. The best example I have are Accomodation and Room.nl. Accomodation is a website where you can choose your parameters, so you can choose your budget, the location. The thing about Accomodation is that you can see how many people you're gonna live with, what is their gender, and whether they are international or Dutch. So for Accomodation, for premium, I paid 26 euros. So basically with paying 26 euro, you kind of have a more specific research, and this kind of optimizes your process to find a place. My experience with Accomodation is that I sent many requests, but I got back not a lot of answers from the landlords. I think I've got 1 or 2 viewing out of 45-50 requests. I think something like that. So that's what I've got with Accomodation. And then there is Room.nl. Room.nl works in a really specific way. Basically, you pay 35 euros just once, based on first arrived, first served. So as you enter the website and once you pay, you can choose a place where you want to stay. Normally there are studios around the city, and you are put on a list, which is basically a ranking. And as time passes, your ranking gets better and better until you get offered a place, one of the spots you choose, and you have to be really fast to react and accept the place, otherwise you're gonna lose it. This time that it takes you to go over the ranking and actually get a room really depends by each case. It can take month or just a few weeks. I had a friend of mine who in a week got a place, and I have another friend of mine who waited the entire summer. So you have to be really careful with kind of the website and check them really often in order to actually optimize your chances of getting a place. So the fourth method you can use to find a place is to check out some student housing. They're really diverse and you have many options. The best options here in Groningen are of course SSH. Then you have places like the Student Hotel, Xior, and the Sugar Homes. So starting with SSH, university like the University of Groningen usually reserve a short stay accommodation. So in order to apply for SSH, you must be a bachelor, master, or PhD student, or even part of the staff of a university. Once you're enrolled in a university, you can apply for that. And I think SSH, or for this category of student housing, they are the cheapest option. They're usually around 500 euros per month or below. But usually you get your own room, and sometimes you get a shared bathroom and sometimes you don't, and you kind of always get a shared kitchen. And then we have places like the Student Hotel and Xior. I had a wonderful experience at the Student Hotel. Basically, you get your own room with your own bathroom, but you have a shared kitchen, which I actually find really helpful in COVID times, because it's a way to meet new people. So Xior and the Student Hotel, or I would say one of the most expensive places to stay. I was paying around 850 euros per month. It was slightly changing every month, and I had service like laundry. I had people cleaning my bathroom once a month, and I had all the kitchen utilities included. The big advantage of places like Xior and the Student Hotel is that if you have a problem in your room, you can always go to the reception. They're gonna immediately repair it, they're gonna help you. The really big advantage of places like this is that I feel like it's the best way to start living by yourself. You're still in a really protected environment, but you still have to learn how to deal with a lot of new stuff. And then we have the Sugar Homes. So Sugar Homes are around 565 euros per month. The Sugar Homes were originally built as an emergency housing to front the housing crisis here in Groningen, but then they become permanent studios. The location of this place is right outside the city center, and I have to say they're really nice studios, really cozy. And in the studio you have the bathroom and the kitchen included. The good thing about this kind of student housing is that you don't have to be actually here in Groningen to apply for it. You can do everything online, you can ask information online, you can see all the reviews online and actually get a good idea. The best time to book these places it's around May, because I think that once you're mid-June, July, all the rooms start to be booked. And then I have my fifth and final method, which is I think also the easiest method to find a place, and it's just to ask to your friends and see if anyone has a free place. I think it's also the method with which you have more chances to actually get a place, because if the people that you're gonna live with or already know you, or you have a friend in common, then this is a really good warranty for you moving in and for the landlord itself. If you still don't know anyone here in Groningen, I would suggest you to start to send some DMs, maybe in the Facebook groups, or maybe if you're able to find a link into some of the WhatsApp groups, and start to ask around if anyone knows someone with a place. The beautiful thing about Groningen is that really, when you ask something, people always gonna try to help you, and they're gonna be proactive to find a solution for you. So this is why I really think this is the best method. So final tips. So the most important thing I would suggest you is actually go around the city looking by yourself. This is really important because you're gonna have a lot of viewings. You will have to talk to a lot of people. The timing is also important. Start looking in April/May. Something I also have to mention is that here in Groningen right now there's a really important house crisis, and I know of a lot of people that, or a lot of students that unfortunately or sleeping in couches or in tents in the streets. I know this in first person because I had a friend of mine who was been sleeping in my couch for more than a month. So I know that it can get frustrating sometimes, but I'm sure that if you follow these tips, if you're really proactive, if you always send that extra mail that may actually get you the place you wanted, then I'm sure you won't have any problem. You will find a really nice place that will allow you to actually enjoy your stay here in Groningen. So yeah, in the description below I will put some of the most important links, maybe some Facebook groups, some of the most important websites. And yeah, I really hope this video has been helpful. I know I put a lot of information, but yeah, and if you don't find a place, there's always a free couch at my place, but I hope this won't be the case. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was actually helpful. If it was, please leave a like, and see you to the next video. Bye bye!